This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social. I'm delighted to be joined by the Commonwealth featherweight champion, Reece The Bomber Bellotti. How you doing, Reece?
All good, mate. All good. Yourself?
Very well, thank you. Been a while?
It has, it has.
That's it, yeah. It's just been a while. What have you been up to?
No, a lot, mate. Just training hard, waiting for the fights, and I've got a good fight now, so I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
What can you tell us about your opponent?
Ryan Doyle, he's a good fighter. I'm not underestimating him in any way. It's not one of those fights that people might have their opinions that I might bang him out or blast him out or whatever, but for me, I don't think I will. Tough fighter. He's been in with some good opponents, with Tennyson and Isaac Lowe and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, he hasn't boxed at featherweight for his last 2 or 3 fights, but he's had a good camp this time. We gave him enough notice. Like, I don't want him to come in there with short notice, and it's not relevant for me. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, you mentioned that he's been in with some names sort of in and around domestic scene, Tennyson. Do you put any pressure on yourself to sort of better performances that have come before, or are you just very much concentrated on your fight?
I'd be stupid if I said I didn't. Like, you obviously want to always try and better other people, and because you want to make a name for yourself a little bit. But like you say, I just try and do my own thing, and hopefully that'll be enough to better the other opponents that he's faced. But listen, it's in your call, great atmosphere, love it in there, and it normally brings the best out in me. So we'll see tomorrow.
You mentioned the York Hall atmosphere. I mean, one of the best fights that I've seen in recent memory was your fight with Jason Cunningham at York Hall. Maybe don't agree for the first 4 rounds.
Listen, everyone loved that fight. The atmosphere was honestly probably the best I've ever seen for me. Like, I got in there with the boys, and I remember looking about and I was thinking, wow, I can't lose in front of all these people. It's just mad. And no, but we know it's a 12-round fight at the end of the day, and we knew that Cunningham was going to be skillful and tricky to start off with. Doyle might take that approach, and who knows, we'll see what happens.
Something I spoke to you about straight after that fight. I mean, I know you've fought and defended your title since, but I think that fight could potentially be one that you end up looking back on in your career, dealing with the crowd, dealing with quite a slow start to the fight, taking some shots that you hadn't really before. Do you look back at that, or are you taking the experience from that moving forward?
Definitely take the experience, like you say. To be fair, I watched it. I was around my mum and dad's house. They got it recorded on Sky, and we watched it back. And I was looking at it like that through my hands. I was thinking, I thought I boxed awful that night, looking back at it, and I was technically awful. And hopefully I'm not like that tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm always look over my fights and look where I can improve, because obviously I'm a learning fighter, and that's the way I learn, by watching back my fights.
How soon will it be before we see you contesting past Commonwealth now? I mean, this will be your 2nd defence. Are you looking at British soon? I mean, where's the next step for you? How quick are you looking to progress?
Well, as far as I was aware, I think Eddie approached Ryan Walsh and stuff like that before the board forced a rematch, which obviously then freezes you out, kind of thing. So waiting on what happens with that, and depending on how long it is now, but I would like to fight the winner. Both good fighters. But if not, if the European comes available, it's just whatever Eddie sort of is available at the time. I'll fight anyone. I'm not really bothered. But yeah, we'll see.
On the world level at featherweight, we saw a title change hands a couple of weeks ago. Lee Selby lost his IBF title to Josh Warrington. I know that there was talks of you going to do some sparring with Lee Selby. I'm not sure whether or not you did or not. But did you catch the fight?
I did, yeah. I was interested in that fight a lot. I didn't end up going to spar Selby in the end. I don't really know what happened there. But yeah, great win for Warrington. I said it would make it interesting because Selby was, I think he's a bit dead at the weight, if that makes sense. He's a big unit at the weight. And it was all about how he made it, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, Warrington boxed out his skin that night, boxed really well, and won comfortably for me. I don't know where the judges sort of had it split, didn't they, one of them? I don't know what they're watching, but yeah, Warrington boxed really well.
Okay, and just lastly, final word on the main event. Luke Watkins defends his Commonwealth Cruiserweight title against Watkins-Okolie. What do you make of that fight?
It's a good fight. Listen, I'll be honest, I didn't really know a lot about Watkins until the fight was made, and then I've obviously looked at a couple of his fights since then. He's a good fighter, and could cause Lawrence a few troubles early on. Don't know what his fitness is like, to be honest, and stuff like that, but Lawrence has got the equaliser with the power. So yeah, it makes it interesting.
Okay, well, Reece The Bomber Bellotti, always a pleasure catching up with you. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social, and I will see you tomorrow night at York Hall.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.